Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the fourth down focus. This is week five predictions. Week five
Yes.
predictions, yes. But I will pass it over to Kian as he has the question to start the episode.
So as per usual, it's the ages of the quarterback, the running back, and the wide receiver one, and these boys are going to have to guess the team. So the quarterback is 27, the running back is 28, and their wide receiver one is also 28.
That's so generic.
That's tough.
It's not like, you need one like a specific standout age, but there's just not really. It's very normal.
27, 28, and 28.
Yeah.
Eagles.
Yes. Yeah.
But I thought Hurts must be about 27.
Yes. Hurts is 27, Barkley's 28, and AJ Brown is also 28.
Fuck's sake.
What a great guess that was.
Shut up,
I
James.
did not realise Saquon was 28 though. I thought that was going to be my downfall.
I thought he was 27 as well, to be honest.
That's why AJ Brown must be about 28.
I was going through the running backs in my head. I normally go quarterbacks, but 27 is such a random age. I don't know. We will preface this, as you can probably see, by saying that Kian's connection today is fucking pony. But we'll get through it. We'll manage. I'll edit some dodgy pauses out if I have to. Oh. So as I just said, Kian's internet is shit and he just disconnected from the call. But we've got him back for now, so we'll see how long that lasts. But we'll move on quickly to the predictions before he kicks him out again.
Yes, we will. So we'll start off with another boring start, as we probably have in all of our episodes nowadays. We've all gone with the Rams to beat the 49ers, and I think, Max, this was probably one of the easier decisions of the week with the news of 49ers injury trouble yet again.
The 49ers injury trouble is, I genuinely think that Christian McCaffrey has done some sort of satanic ritual to keep his own health, but in return, he's sacrificed the rest of his teammates' health because they're all fucked. Is Brock Purdy playing QB again?
I don't know.
He was questionable in Austin.
Jesus. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure who's even playing quarterback for them, but this should be an absolute mugging from the Rams. They look very in form, and they're playing a very weak divisional rival. So this is very straightforward, like James said.
Kian?
Firstly, I can only apologise to anyone who's listening on audio platforms after that sneeze, as I imagine it shit you all up. But yeah, basically just what Max said times two. The injury problems are just something else, and it just keeps getting worse and worse for him. So I see no way that this isn't an absolute trouncing, to be honest.
Yeah, the team, I'm still very confident we'll get to the Super Bowl, and I'm going to continue the form with them getting another win here. Against the 49ers, as I just said, there's too many injuries in this Niners team. I think Pearsall's injured, Jennings is injured, Kittle's obviously on IR, Bosa's out for the whole season. So it's just
but he is shagging Megan Maloney. So who's the real winner?
But no, I just really like the Rams. I think they're great. And Puka Nacua consistently saves my fantasy every week, so I'm hoping yet again he will come through and save my fantasy for basically the fifth week in a row.
I hope he fucking doesn't.
James, don't talk about fantasy. I'm not okay.
Yeah, Max is 0-4 for anyone wondering.
I've probably mentioned it enough times in the last episode. My entire team has had I've rebuilt my team in week 4.
Next up, the London game, the first London game of the year. It's obviously a big occasion for us UK fans. Shame none of us are going because it's 160 quid to watch Carson Wentz versus Dylan Gabriel. But as the resident Browns fan, Max, and who isn't going to see his team in London, I'll let you start.
I'm not going to see my team in London, no, because I don't have that kind of money spare to go watch whatever the fuck this is. 2 points. First point, as you said, Dylan Gabriel is starting. I think Kevin Stefanski must have watched our last episode because that news became official the day after that got released. So he must have been listening to my cries. And the second point I've got is, hear me out here.
Oh, God.
When I backed the Packers to beat us, we beat them. So I'm actually backing the Browns to win, but I'm picking Minnesota so that I reverse jinx it. So we're actually going to win, and Dylan Gabriel's going to get Offensive Player of the Week in the AFC
I thought you were about to say the year then.
and the year. He's going to get Offensive Rookie and Player of the Year and MVP. He's going to get all three. Am I right?
If we're talking coincidences and jinxes for Max, we were also in the Spurs Stadium when the Packers lost to the Browns, being played in the Spurs Stadium.
We were there.
That being said, they got fucking no chance against this team. I mean, Dylan Gabriel doesn't excite me one bit. I almost got 2 tickets today at a cheaper price, but I think you'd have to pay me to go and watch this.
How cheap is cheap?
Like 50 quid each.
That's not bad.
I think it was obstructed view as well. So not only, which to be honest is probably the best way to watch.
I was going to say you'd be better off.
Yeah, this is just pretty poor. I just see no way that the Browns win it. I think they've had their one win now, and then now they're just going to lose next year. Until they play us, then they'll win because we're not winning again. I said it, but yeah, give me the Vikings.
I think we've got the Steelers next week. We'll beat them.
Yeah, I've gone Vikings. I just don't see a world where the Browns win a game like this. As much as they have a chance, because obviously you have the whole neutral zone thing, as well as it only being Carson Wentz, so it's not exactly the most terrifying of opposition. But I feel like Justin Jefferson alone is enough to scare a team.
I would have preferred if we played JJ McCarthy, to be honest.
Yeah,
I would have paid him if he was starting to go watch Myles Garrett eat him alive.
But I just think
you can't do that on the field.
He would.
Yeah.
It's an organisation that's used to playing in London as well. So he played here last year and won last year. So yeah, it's interesting, but I think it's just too much for the Browns. I just don't see a world where they win many games this year. I mean, the Packers was already the most ridiculous upset alone. I don't think we're going to see something like that again. Unfortunately, it seems like one of the things that only happen once a season. As much as this wouldn't be like out of the realms of possibility, because
I definitely think there's a world where we can sneak a win by like 3 points.
You'd have to win on defense 100% because you ain't going to win it with fucking Dylan Gabriel throwing the ball.
We're going to win any game.
You ain't winning it with Gabriel throwing the ball.
If you just defend really strongly and then Quinton Judkins does the rest because he's a beast.
Next up,
you can't tell me he's not a beast either because you were both trying to trade for him in fantasy this week.
Well, I got 2 better running backs.
I'm just staring at this because I never thought I'd see the day. We have a New York Giants sweet win prediction.
Well, they are playing a bunch of Make-A-Wish kids. So, what do you expect?
What, you're saying that like we aren't.
Cam Scarborough's probably.
We are betting on.
He's definitely a Make-A-Wish kid.
You would get more money betting on us than the Saints this weekend.
I'll take it. What's the spread? Anyone know?
1.5.
Is that Windows licked or?
But yeah, this game could be quite fun because it's just going to be an absolute shit show especially on the offensive side of the ball. I mean, Jesus Christ. But I'm going to back us. We just beat one of the better teams in the entire league and one of the best defenses in the league. So if we can do that to then lose to the Saints a week later, I fully will give up with this entire organization. But Dart looked really, really good. I think he can only get better from that performance because there's obviously patches where it was a bit like, you could sort of see it was his first game and it was just certain like things he needs to improve on a bit. But Scatterboo in at running back. RB1 on PFF, by the way, if anyone didn't know. Yeah, just basically rely on that. And our defense was really, really good against the Chargers as well, surprisingly, considering it's coordinated by a fucking idiot. But yeah, shock horror when you play Abdul Carter as an edge rusher. He's good, and we're not playing as a linebacker when he was shit. So yeah, I'm going Giants. As much as I'm still not confident, because with this franchise, you can never be confident about anything. We should win this if we bet anything, even 50% like we did last week. We will win this game pretty easily, I reckon. Max?
James, you've just made me wish I picked the Saints. I'll be honest. You've really just set up the fact that you won a hard game last week, so you will now lose this on paper.
I wouldn't be surprised at all.
I really wish I'd picked the Saints now.
I genuinely wouldn't be surprised. I nearly picked the Saints.
I'll stick with the Giants just because you've got on paper a bit more quality, and I am definitely a fan of the crayon eating running back you've got. But apart from that, you might win this by a field goal. I'm not gonna lie. Is Q the kicker? Q.
No, it's not.
Is it Gano?
No, Gano's. I need to name check. I've forgotten his name. He was actually quite good as well against the Chargers when he was called. It is. Where is it?
It's thrilling
Dude,
content.
McCartney. I don't know.
Who?
I have no idea. His
Never
career
met
so far has only been on the. Did we draft this guy? Or sign him in like a? We must have signed him or something. I don't know. He's had 2 years and he's played 2 games.
Yeah. Well, Malik Neighbours is out, so that's a problem for you. Very big problem. However, the Saints don't really have much themselves in the way of receiving core apart from Chris Olave. So, yeah, Giants win, I guess. I don't know.
Kian?
The Big Apple, right? It's got some good football teams. It's had some great players. It's got big skyscrapers. But what it's not going to have this weekend is a win. I'm flipping my prediction. Give me New Orleans. Max has convinced me. I'm flipping it. Give me New Orleans. You're not winning. You're not winning. It's not happening. Let's go, Ratman. Here we go.
Thank God, Kian's not been boring. Then it'll be the only time in this video that I can say that.
The fact he called me boring is the only reason I flip this. But
yeah, just a shame we're going to have defensive player
no
of the
analysis
year, defensive rookie of the year, offensive rookie of the year, all on the same team. We're going to get 3 wins.
You don't have Quinton
broken.
Schlesinger, so what? That's not the rookie.
We have the sack leader, mate.
Okay, Carson Schlesinger's still clear.
Brian Burns, mate. Defensive player of the year. Defensive rookie is obviously going to be after.
He's like 27.
Carter's winning defensive rookie after that performance. I've already decided if he plays on the edge for the rest of the year, he's going to win it.
Okay.
And offensive rookie is a quarterback award, and all the other quarterbacks are absolutely useless. So Dart will win by default.
How long do we reckon James is going to milk this Chargers win, Kian?
Probably a while, because if we lose this, then we will not win another game.
Just remember, guys, we beat the Chargers. Okay.
Yeah, so just until we either win this game. If we win, then I can just milk this instead, even though I'm not really going to talk much because it is the Saints and we should.
Oh, yes, do milk this game against such hard opposition.
Exactly. So the Chargers win is actually the impressive one. Next up, go on, Kian.
To be honest with you, I couldn't give a fuck. We're that bad that I honestly couldn't give a fuck. I hope we lose, but I hope that Jonathan Taylor and Ashton Genty have great days for fantasy purposes. But apart from that, we're shit, so we will lose. I actually know where we win this game. So let's go Colts and let's go Daniel Jones. I'm fed up.
I think this generally could be the funniest game ever if it's like a low-scoring game, because not only do you lose the game as a Vegas fan, but you also lose fantasy by having your running back stinkers.
They could just run a lot and not score.
They could. Or it could end like 3-0. Raiders have been known to do that. I really didn't want to do this because I fucking can't stand Daniel Jones. But it is the Raiders, and it's basically a free loss on the predictions if I don't take the Colts in this one. As much as I can see that starting a little spiral for the Colts, it won't carry on here because, the Raiders are dog shit. Then again, you went awful against the Bears. If Genty does perform to the levels that he did last week, then it could be a different story. But
we've got a fucking incompetent idiot throwing the ball.
Your defense is also a bit shit. So
at times it can actually be all right, but most of the time it's shit.
If it can it be all right and get some fucking interceptions, because this guy needs to be humbled back to his shit little fucking.
Oh no, we don't do that here. No, we just stop the run sometimes. We don't do that here.
All right, fine. Yeah, give me the Colts then. Max?
What, you actually want me to speak about this game? Colts by 1 million. I just find it really funny how Keane stopped being a fan of the Raiders and he's become a fan of his own fantasy team instead. It's quite funny.
It's more fun.
I mean, we might as well all be, because none of our teams are going to lose.
We've got the same record. I'm 1-3, so are we.
Yeah, but we've got a bit of optimism. You've just
Browns have got one more win than I do in fantasy, so I haven't quite made the switch yet.
To be fair, I mean, the whole thing is fucked. We might as well all be fantasy fans because none of our teams are doing anything.
Yeah, but I'm shitting fantasy as well.
Although it is quite funny that had we not done a Giants against the Cowboys, we could be staring down the barrel to go 3-1 this weekend. That would just be fucking silly.
If we aren't had balls, she'd be my uncle.
3-2, sorry.
You know what's really funny? We started up that fourth down focus fantasy league on sleeper. We mentioned it once.
Yeah, because I abandoned it after week 1 when I drafted Joe Burrow and
I'm
Jamar
actually
Chase.
good on that one. I'm third in the league overall.
I've lost every game on that one, I think.
You're dead last.
I'm doing well on the one that has money involved, so it doesn't matter.
If you're watching this and you're in the fantasy fourth down focus league and we don't talk about it, sorry, none of it.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose you should go first here, Max, because as we said, you said you weren't buying into the Bryce Young hype, and you've backed him again.
I didn't back them last week.
I thought you did.
In fact, no, I don't.
No, I did.
Oh, right, okay.
I didn't back them last week. I was with you, but against the Dolphins, who still haven't really impressed me once this season, and they've now lost Tyreek Hill. I think that Bryce could possibly take advantage of that if he just plays fine. You don't even have to like blows out the water. Just play fine. Solid run game. He's got Tet. He really needs to throw it to Tet actually because he's in my fantasy. And I think there's a world where the Panthers can win this, and I didn't want to be boring and pick the Dolphins like you two.
Kian?
I was very close to going Panthers, I must admit, especially after Tyreek went down. I think we need Waddle to step up, but I think we've been saying that for a few years now, and it just hasn't happened. I could do with Achane being carted off the field after minute 1 for fantasy purposes. But apart from that, to be honest with you, it's a shit game. It will be shown on Red Zone once. It's a terrible game. And I'm glad that the NFL haven't done what they usually do with terrible games and put it on fucking prime time.
This offense will run off Devon Achane, and that's going to be fantastic news for my fantasy team.
Hopefully he won't run off the pitch.
Because, I need points from him this week, and I can't imagine anyone else really is going to be touching the ball apart from Jalen Waddle. So it could be handy. Oh, Darren Waller has 2 touchdowns last week, so that was fun.
The rapper.
But no, I think Achane's going to have a big role in this offense now with Tyreek being out for God knows how long. It could even be next season as well with how bad it was.
That could be his career. I'm not going to lie.
I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, I'm going with the Dolphins purely because I can't back the Panthers after seeing some of the shit that I've had to watch on Red Zone like twice this season from the Panthers.
Yeah, but they're also capable. Like we saw the Falcons game. The Falcons are a good team.
Yeah, but the Falcons, I think that was just the Falcons being really, really shit rather than the Panthers being good.
But the Miami Dolphins haven't been good once this year.
Yeah, but they have Achane and Waddle, which is better than anything that the Panthers have.
The Panthers have Juba. He's very capable running back.
He's also questionable to even play.
Ignore that. That's just propaganda. And no, I believe the Panthers are going to win this one because there's obviously the Bryce thing, but you've got to think they didn't let the Falcons score a point. So the defense is also capable of putting up a good performance.
Yeah, but they also gave up 42 to the Patriots.
All they've got to do is get pressure on Tua, and Tua will probably get carted off again. So,
next up, didn't want to do this, but
here we go. My fantasy quarterback this week, as Lamar Jackson is probably not playing. I'm going to be I'm going to be under center watching this game on Red Zone. I'm going to be hitting the cadence. I'm going to be, let's go Dak, fuck the Jets, let's go. That's all I've got to say.
Kian?
I've got 2 views on this game. If I still have George Pickens on Sunday, I hope that he scores 100 touchdowns. If I don't, I hope he turns into Tua Tagovailoa. Not going to try and say his full name because that won't end well. But that being said, I nearly went Jets, I'll be honest, because I actually didn't think they looked that bad on Monday from what I've seen. And Fields, when he's played full games, has been impressive, to be honest with you. I know he's been a little bit running backy, but he's done what he needs to do. But that being said, fuck off all you. That being said, I just think the Cowboys have got too much for them.
I am very tempted to flip this, I can't lie, because as you said, they went awful. But I've already flipped too many predictions just to not be boring, so I can't really afford to do it again here. But the Cowboys' defense is, as I said at the start of the season, and Max, you argued with me on it, is straight shite.
But so is the Jets. Jets defense is terrible.
It is.
So this could be another 40-40 tie, to be honest.
Yeah, so we also made a rule that if anyone dares to predict a tie on predictions and they get it right, they automatically win predictions for the entire year. That's a
just
rule.
start backing every game as a tie and eventually
Yeah.
Just in the hope that it happens again.
Week 18 final game.
But no, I'm going with the Cowboys purely because I just think there's just a little bit too much for the Jets. And as I said, that as much as they didn't look bad on Monday, they were playing the Dolphins. So again, you have to take that with a pinch of salt. So yeah, I'm going with the Cowboys as much as I really don't want to because fuck Dallas. But at the same time, they probably are going to win this, unfortunately. And I hope Pickens gets carted off the field within about 2 minutes. Next. Eagles versus the Broncos, and I feel like this is going to start becoming a trend with the Eagles.
I said it last episode. I think they've nailed on to win another Super Bowl, to be honest. I don't think they're going to do it in very impressive fashion because, like, I haven't been excited by any of their games this season, really, apart from when they had to come back against Green Bay. But I just think, like, I think I said it a couple episodes ago, they've kind of just become the new Chiefs, where they're just going to win. They're just going to keep winning, and there's not really anything we can do about it. So I'm just going to keep taking the 3 wins every week.
Kian?
I just don't see a way that Denver, the way they performed, I know obviously they beat the Bengals, but like I said, I think a team of 5 players can beat the Bengals at the minute. I just don't see a way that this Denver team, like how they've been playing this year, shows up and beats the Eagles. Like Max said, they're just winning. Then they're winning boring as well, which is when people will start to turn on you. You know, for most of us, bar James last year, they were our saviour because they beat the Chiefs and Cooper DeJean. I still love him. But now it's like I almost want to see him dethroned. I want to see someone else come along and do the same thing. But it's not going to be this week. Give me the Eagles.
I fucking hate this franchise with every single part of me. They're so fucking boring. But I do. I'm just probably more just copium than anything. I could see an upset here because the Broncos defense is sort of settling into more what we expect the Broncos defense to look like. But it is the Eagles.
You have sex with a Broncos fan or something? Every fucking week.
I know it was the Bengals, but they let them to 3 points. It's a good defensive performance.
Not against the Bengals, it's not.
But you lost to the fucking Bengals.
That wasn't a loss.
But no, I just don't. As I said, it's just a stupid risk to take in, especially in our prediction standards, because I'm already flipping a few to be interesting, but this one was just a bit silly because I will lose and it will end up backfiring because they're now fucking running fake tush pushes and all this shit, and I just give up with this fucking franchise. Like, as Max said, why would you bring that out in week 4? Like, you could have saved that for like a Super Bowl winning play or some shit, but now you whack it out in a meaningless week 4 game. But yeah, they're going to be good. They're not winning the Super Bowl because Matt Stafford's unbelievably talented LA Rams are winning the NFC. But they will definitely be the 1 seed in the NFC because no one is really pressing on with a decent record who looks like they're going to maintain it all the way through in the NFC anyway. To the end of the year.
I'll forget about them Bears, James.
I think everyone forgot about them Bears.
Don't forget about them.
They just had to have a blocked field goal to beat the fucking Raiders.
We're a great team.
Special team, special players. That's what I'm saying.
Next up, Ravens versus the Texans. And as Max said, he doesn't know if Lamar's going to be starting. This is basically what this prediction hinges on for me, is that I think he will. Because all the analysts have sort of laughed off the 2 to 3 week thing, saying it's nowhere near that. It's more week to week and he could play. So I'm going to cope and say he is going to play. And if he does, they will win because I just don't like the Texans very much. I don't know why. They're just really boring. So that probably influenced my decision as well. But yeah, I just reckon it's the Ravens still have talent, although I did look at their injury report and it was like a crime scene.
It's
fucking horrendous. Like really bad. Again, but none of them are like out, so I can't fully say it won't happen. But I'm going to go with the Ravens. As I purely from a content perspective, otherwise you would be watching a video with every slide, more or less, bar 2, saying the exact same thing. So for that perspective, I'm going Ravens. And also, if Lamar does start, I think they will win this game, like actually, because they need a win desperately here if they want to keep their more or less their season alive. Because you drop to 1-4, you've got big problems, either with getting to the playoffs, because the Steelers could potentially start pulling away if they're not careful, because they are already 3-1. And the other 2 teams in this division are starting awful quarterbacks. So I think they're the only real competition, and they've got to play catch up because they're already 2 games behind, and this would put them 3 games behind. So it's interesting. But yeah, give me the Ravens just for a bit of difference.
Don't
Have you
ever fucking say that again, James. Go on, Kian.
Have you ever thought that the Texans might find you boring?
That's
Because you
fine.
call them boring every week, and come on,
That's
let's
fine.
at least hear their side of the story. But you've obviously said a lot there about it being a big game for the Ravens. It's a big game for the Texans as well. At the start of every year, they're expected to win this division and win it comfortably, and they're miles off currently, and they've not looked good at all. If it is Cooper Rush, then they really need to win this game. I think for me, it's a bit shit or bust for both teams, really. Whoever loses is starting to look like they're not going to make the playoffs. So it is a big game. I actually think that even if Lamar starts, it will be closer than we think it will be. But
I don't think it'll be like a big because the Texans defense is good, so it will not. It will be a close game irrespective of who starts a quarterback.
But I think it's closer, like as in it could go either way if Lamar starts. If he doesn't start, I genuinely think that it could be a Texans win because everything that worked for the Ravens in the past hasn't worked this season. So I just unless it picks up, they're in big trouble. So
I will also preface: if the Ravens lose and they probably won't make the playoffs, that means Max's Super Bowl contenders could not even make the playoffs.
I hope they don't. To be honest, I don't care about predictions. I said it last week. I don't give a fuck. I hope they perish. I kind of agree with what Kian said. This is even if Lamar plays, and boy oh boy, I hope he does. Then it's still going to be a close game. Texans have good defense. The Ravens have so far this season probably the worst. They've allowed the most points, I believe, so far this season, and they've got a lot of injuries. I think Marlon Humphrey, Roquan Smith, Madubuike is out for the season. Nate Wiggins was out as well. That's a lot of key losses on that side of the ball. So even if Lamar's playing, they're going to have to stop the Texans. And I think the Texans, after, albeit a win against the Titans, a win is still a win, and they shut them out. So they'll have some confidence, whereas the Ravens are probably thinking, what the fuck is going on? So give me the Texans. Give me H-Town.
You said you hope Lamar starts, but are you even going to start him even if he does?
We'll see. I'll probably forget.
He's not someone you can sit.
I know he's
Is he not?
No, but the fact is,
a 1-3 Lamar Jackson who's not really performed in fantasy is probably sittable now.
He is performing in fantasy. He's getting like
especially when you got Dak, who's got a very on paper easy defensive matchup.
The thing is, if I start Lamar, then he's going to be shit, and Dak's going to go off, and he's going to be a sat on a bench. So
I feel like you lose your fantasy week either way, so you might as well just take the risk.
I can't go 1-5. I cannot go.
You can.
I have to win.
Next up, edgy again. So I suppose I'll go first. Again, looking from a content perspective, this would be the most boring video of all time had I had put the original predictions up here. So I thought Kian's going to be boring and not change his, so I'll change mine. So either way, I either lose predictions, but Kian's boring, or I win predictions through.
Just fucking change one, you silly prick.
Don't care. I'll go Titans purely because I said if they're going to win any game this season, looking at the schedule, it's probably this because the Cardinals have been absolute horseshit, even with their record. I think their game last time I watched them was genuinely one of the worst things I've ever seen in my entire life. I've never seen like Kyler and Marvin Harrison was probably the worst connection from a quarterback to wide receiver I've seen potentially in my entire life. Absolutely dreadful until the last 10 minutes where they decided to turn up for no apparent reason. And the Titans, I don't know. I feel like I don't want to quote Cam Ward again, but he did literally say that we're arse in his last prediction, in his last post-match interview. So sort of puts me off. But at the same time, as I said, someone needed to be different. So I'm going Titans. Just
let me correct you there, James. He actually said if we keeping it a book, we ass.
Yeah, keeping it a book, we ass. We dropped a quarter of our fucking games already. Was the exact quote.
That's what he actually said. You know what? It really takes away from the believability of your pick when you preface them all by saying this is just for content.
It is just for content. Otherwise, I would have predicted the Texans and the fucking Cardinals.
Very believable.
That's what I had down, but I thought me and Kian can't have the exact same predictions because it's just horrendous.
I think that the Titans should be concerned about going winless at this point, and I haven't seen anything really impressive from Cam Ward. The only player on their team that's impressed me so far is Ayamanor, I guess, as a rookie, has been quite good, and Tony Pollard's still been pretty solid. He needs to keep being solid in this game because I've now got him on fantasy. Thanks for that, Kian. And yeah, Cardinals, they've not been impressive, but they are still getting wins, and that's what matters at the end of the day. That's what gets you to the dance. So I think they'll get another one here.
What dance are we talking about with the Cardinals?
Well, Saturday.
No, I don't know, man.
Kian?
I'm going to sort of use something that James said against him. So he said that obviously in the last game they played, they didn't show up until the last 10 minutes. To be honest with you, good teams can do that. They can play horrendous and then turn it on and win a game.
But the Cardinals have only beaten the Saints and the Panthers so far.
Well, so this is a perfect game to win then.
This is
a team that
Tennessee are in that range.
In all fairness, they don't win this. They're probably not. They're not going to win till week 17. Just looking at
they'll win this. They'll win this game. I don't know what else I can really say. The Titans are terrible, and the Cardinals are slightly less bad. So give me the Cardinals and that running back that James has.
Timacado.
That's the one. I couldn't remember his name.
Yeah, whatever his name is.
Kyler Murray.
Because somehow I get one good waiver claim and he's on fucking IR within a week. Also, I did lie actually saying the Titans, if they don't win this, couldn't win for the rest of the year. They can because they've got the Raiders next week.
Yeah, they're playing us. They'll beat us.
So they probably can.
I almost hope they win this game so that isn't like a massive thing.
Also, I've got the Vols jersey on, so I thought I'll go for a Tennessee connection and just hope that they can. But somehow the Vols probably would beat them as well.
Right, well, Kian had his one in the last episode. You've got yours on now, so I'll wear mine next week.
Next up, the Bucks versus the Seahawks. And for once, it's a different prediction that isn't really just for content, and it is actually a plausible result.
That's not the big surprise here. For once, I've backed against Baker.
I was going to say, yeah, you make your whole thing about not backing Baker.
It's the main thing with this game. 2 3-1 teams. It's Baker Mayfield versus Sam Darnold. Obviously, they were at the Panthers together. One was the number 1 overall pick. One was the 3rd overall pick. There's a storyline there, and the thing that came down for me was that the Bucks just lost, whereas the Seahawks are on a 3-game win streak, and I think that momentum might play a factor into it. Plus, the Bucks are a little bit injured at the minute. I'm praying Bucky Irvin's playing. Like, I am on my knees praying for that. But yeah, I think the Seahawks are going to win it by a touchdown, maybe even less, maybe a field goal. I don't know. Give me Seahawks.
I will use what you said against you slightly with my justification is that the Seahawks are also due a loss, in my opinion, with some of the ways that they've been winning games. So I wouldn't be surprised. That's how I'm going to sort of look at it. Also, as you said, the Bucks just are a good team. Bucky even didn't practice today, Max, by the way, just to preface that for your fantasy perspective.
Fuck.
which doesn't help this prediction because obviously he's a big part of that offense.
I'm going to have to start Justice Hill at running back.
I don't know who the Bucks back at running. Oh, it's Rashad White, isn't it? Yeah, but
Rashad White's very capable.
Yeah, they could have worse situations. So from that perspective, I think they'll be all right. I just think the Seahawks are due a loss. Sam Darnold can't have 2 seasons with a ridiculous amount of wins, surely to God. But yeah, I'm going to go Bucks. I just think they've got a little bit more about them than the Seahawks. And the Seahawks, as I said, are a bit overdue a loss. And the Bucks will want to bounce back after a tough-to-take loss after a good second-half performance. But hopefully Baker can actually play football before halftime because for some reason he doesn't like doing that.
I think this was probably one of the toughest ones of the week. I can see it going either way. I am really, really impressed with the Seahawks this year. I didn't have them down to be as good as they are with Darnold. But I do think the Bucs are going to win. I just think they've just got something about them. I said it a couple of weeks ago. They just find ways to win. Obviously, I know last week they lost, but that's a tough game and it's a really tough opponent. I think this is slightly easier, and I think they'll find that way again. They're just a serious team. And I think, for me, this is going to be the game we see a bit of a Chris Godwin bounce back because obviously he was injured. He came back last week. He wasn't as good. It wasn't great. This is, for me, is where he's going to break back out and prove that he's still a very, very capable wide receiver at this level. So, give me the Bucs.
Just checked. Baker Mayfield is also currently questionable.
Never mind.
He's questionable. It's not. He's just. It's probably because he's played for.
He was questionable last week as well, so I'm not too worried about it.
Probably just got a little niggle, but he'll probably play through it. Kian, don't look at me like
that. Next up, Chargers versus Commanders, and even with Jaden Daniels returning, I believe this week, We've all gone with the Chargers, which I was tempted not to after obviously they lost to us, but I feel like that is enough to annoy any franchise into needing a win the week after losing to a team like the Giants. I've purely gone on the Chargers going to be fucking fuming, and are going to want to bounce back in a big way. And the Commanders have been a bit shit recently, especially every game they start Marshawn Lattimore because that bloke is fucking useless.
So Ohio State Buckeye like that.
I feel like for your fantasy perspective, Max, it could be a great day for Quentin Johnston because if he's getting paired with Lattimore, it's basically free yardage.
I was just about to say he's been like the saving grace of my fantasy this year so far somehow.
We would have imagine saying that before the fucking season started.
Yeah, I have no idea how that's happened, but he's like the only player that I'm not willing to trade at the minute.
I am very much sorry. I thought you had something else to say after that. This for me, like a couple of weeks ago, before obviously Daniels got injured. I know he's coming back, but before he got injured, this was a game I would have been really excited about. Whereas now, I just think the Chargers, as much as I obviously don't really rate them, I just think they're a level above what Washington have been this year. So just give me the Chargers, and I'm going to pay no more attention to it. Almost called Washington their old name, then I had to catch myself.
Yeah, we don't want to get in trouble. I also do think that this could
put the Cleveland Indians, though. Am I right? 5 runs last night in the 8th over. Let's fucking go.
Ran out to the Feather Commanders, didn't they?
I also think Commanders at 2 and 3 could put them in big trouble for not being a team that ends up in the playoffs at the end of the year as well.
I thought you meant for liquidation then.
No. Well, I don't know, man. I wouldn't complain if it happened. But no, I think they'll be. I did say I don't think they'll make the playoffs. They haven't been great. Even against us in week 1, we were just really, really bad. And they still only put 21 points up against us. Just not convinced. So yeah, I'm going Chargers. As much as obviously it's hard to back a team that literally lost to us and like in quite embarrassing fashion with Herbert throwing a pick to Dexter Lawrence, I still can't really back the Commanders with the form they're in. And Daniels probably won't be at 100%, which means he may lose his rushing ability as well, which wouldn't be ideal. I mean, fucking hellfire. We said last week that the Bills beating the Saints might be the easiest prediction of the year. I think this might topple it.
By the way, double checking here, pretty sure I'm right. Is this Sunday Night Football?
Yes. I think so. I think you are correct there.
Again, had Burrow been fit, had Burrow been fit, this would have probably been all right.
This has to be Sunday Night Football because these are like not in the time zone of like the 9 p.m. teams that play.
It's not. It's not.
It's not.
Wait, what?
It's not. It's at 9:25. I think it's flexed out.
That time, both the teams are central.
The next game is Sunday Night Football.
All right. Well,
I feel like it's been flexed out. I'm not gonna lie to you.
It probably has.
Maybe. Is there anything to say about this? Like, no. Really?
There's a lot of things to say about the Bengals. Nigel, I'll sum it up perfectly, Max, so you don't have to say anything. The Bengals punter has more yards than their entire offense this season.
Yes, he does.
I think that probably says more than enough about this game.
I'm just really.
I've got nothing else to say.
Detroit defense for fantasy this week.
Yeah, I kind of wish I had that. My method of I did have my method of I'm going to pick whatever team the Bengals play every week on defense if the defense is on waivers to claim it. But unfortunately, this one was taken. But yeah, I think we just move on. As I said, this took even less thought process than the Bills beating the Saints, and that game was quite close. So this game might end up being close. You never know.
For anyone on audio platforms,
it won't. Next up. This is Sunday Night Football.
Oh, yeah, right.
And I said to everyone else, I do these little graphics before the thing, and all I had to change from this one was the NO to NE because I predicted this last week with the Bills and the Saints. So a fairly easy one all round, really. Again, I think this one requires a bit more thought process and actual brain cells than the previous game, but at the same time, I don't think any of us are going to back against the Bills anytime soon, if ever this season with that for ridiculously easy schedule.
Few points about this game. Number one, the Bills are wearing their white-out rivalry uniforms. They look really cool. And they're asking everyone to wear white shit in the crowd. So
I think they're fucking Penn State.
It'll look cool. I think the Patriots could definitely keep it surprisingly close. I believe in Drake May, but I don't believe in his weapons really, and that is the reason that I took Drake May out of fantasy, because he was going to be my starting QB without Lamar, and he's probably going to go off now because I've dropped him. I didn't have any faith in him in this game, and there's no way the Bills lose here, even if it's close. They still scrap it out.
Kian?
I think we're almost seeing a bit of a level of a Bills team that we haven't yet seen, where they will scrap out results if it's close. The Bills of old might have actually fucked up last week when it started getting close, but this team is just they're just something else for me. And I don't think someone can fact check me at some point, but I don't think that since Brady's left, they've beaten the Bills.
I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case.
I feel like that's correct. I'm sure I remember hearing that when they played each other last year.
Carry on talking, I'll try and work it out.
But I haven't really got much else to say, mate. The Bills are going to win this game, and the whiteout will look cool.
James Cook might rush for like 200 yards.
Kian, I really hate to break it to you, but the last time this game was played, the Patriots won.
Really?
It was week 18 when it was Mitch Trubisky, in all fairness.
Yeah.
I remember that game, actually.
But then again, it was also Joe Milton, so, you know.
Did you see that clip of Joe Milton?
Yes.
He was playing pass with a fan, and he nearly took his head off. Like, that man can throw the ball.
The Bills also lost to Mac Jones in 2023.
Oh, fair enough. I was wrong then.
If Joe Milton's career in the NFL doesn't work out, he could probably be a pitcher in the MLB. He can throw that ball ridiculously quick.
This just didn't really take too much thought. I just can't back against the Bills, and I don't think I will for the rest of the season, to be honest, because their schedule is so easy, as I just said. But the Patriots are good. I just think there's levels to being good and being the Bills. And I think, as I said, I'm very confident that this will be the team from the AFC side of things that will be in the Super Bowl, because no one else of the big teams in that sort of conference seem to be at the level that they once were, especially the Ravens and Chiefs and all of their big contenders. They're both a bit awful this year. So I think they'll be fine, unless they somehow do a Bills and still lose to Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs, because, again, I wouldn't be surprised.
That will happen. Who are we kidding?
I was going to say, I really wouldn't be shocked if that is the case. But for this week, I'm going with the Bills. And finally, because obviously we've got a few bye week games this week, it is the Jags against the Chiefs. And Max, after me defending the Jags the entire week, it looks like you've now overcorrected from calling me an idiot to now being more infatuated with them than I am.
It's been a while since I've done this on an episode. Duval with the Jags.
Did you not do it yesterday?
I did it off episode. The Jags.
Oh, yeah.
The thing that every UK NFL fan owns without actually wanting to.
This game.
Right, mate, you'll get on in a few weeks.
The Jags, I believe in them. I don't know why, to be honest. And it's not, I don't really want them to win, to be honest, because their draft pick is our draft pick. So if they could start picking up a few losses, that'd be nice. But I don't know. I can just see it. Primetime, upset, victory, 3-point win or something, walk-off field goal from Cam Little. I'm going off vibes alone, really. I have nothing to back it up.
I mean, I'd like the Jags to win, because I fucking hate the Chiefs. But I just can't see it. The Chiefs looked the sort of Chiefs of old last week. And I think with players returning, that's only going to continue. I think we've had our fun with them now. They're not going to get a home playoff game, which will be good, at least. But they'll probably still go all the way. They might not win it, but they'll probably end up in a fucking Super Bowl. We know what they're like. We know what they're capable of. And it's boring. So I hope Max is right, but I don't think he will be. So give me, reluctantly, the Chiefs.
It's weird because I don't hope I'm right.
Yeah, I don't know. As I said, I've said about the Jags, and I still do believe they have a massive, massive chance, and they will win this division. I just think with the Chiefs, as McKeon said, they look like the Chiefs that we sort of all know and hate last week with a very big win against Baltimore, and they needed it as well because obviously it's been a rough start to the year for them. But obviously Worthy's back, Rashi's close to being back. I think this is either his last week or next week's his last week of his suspension as well, so that'll bring him back into the fold. I can only see them getting better and better from now on in with the players coming back into the fold, so it'll be interesting. But this was tough because, as I said, the Jags have been good, and I think they're better than people think they are. I just think if the Chiefs play it at that level that they did last week, I just can't see the Jags having enough to stop that. Because as I said, Jags did have a close game against the fucking Bengals, so if the Chiefs start playing like the Chiefs, it could be a very long day for the Jags. But is this the Jags last but one game before they come to London?
The London game is October 19th, I believe.
So it'll be one more.
The next week's one is the Jets Broncos, which is good.
Yes.
I just really hope they keep up their sort of form going into London. As much as they may not win this, I just hope they win next week. So then that game does look as good as it could be, because it does look like a really good game on paper. And for the first time in basically ever, the NFL UK fans might actually get a good game to watch.
But then, to be fair, when they first, not first, but at a point when they were doing this, that the Jags got to the AFC Championship game.
True.
At one point, they were a decent side and they were written side.
Yeah, they just did it once, got stuck with it, and then they're like, oh, shit.
Now, well, they're all right now, but the last few years they've been terrible. They've not been exciting to watch at all. But yeah, it sets up a really good game if they can keep their form up.
It does. But that is all of our predictions for this week. As I said, there are a couple of teams on a bye week, so we're missing 2 games that we would normally have. So to replace the time...
I'm missing a fucking ear. What the fuck's going on here?
What?
I'm missing an ear.
The Blues guys.
Carry on. Sorry.
So this week, as we said, we're to kill the time in between where we would normally have the last 2 games. We've got Max with a quiz question, as we did last week with... was it the offensive rookie last week? We did.
I believe so, and you were a little sweat, and you got like 17 in a minute.
We're going to pick like Brown's offensive lineman in the last decade or something.
That was a great idea, but no, I didn't do that. What I've actually opted for is a bit easier. 1 minute, see you can name the most number 1 overall picks in the draft. So when you're ready, let me know.
I'm ready.
I'll start the timer when you're ready. I'll obviously cut this bit out for you lovely people watching, because it's not very entertaining.
Right, okay.
Are we ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
Boom, timer's on. You've got a minute. Right, so time is up.
I don't think I've done very well there. I took way too long.
I'm going to pull up the list. Anyone want to go first? Anyone want to volunteer to go first?
I'll let James go first.
Okay, James.
Okay, yeah, so I normally get second on these. I'm not confident in all honesty, but I've gone Caleb Williams.
Yep.
Bryce Young.
Yep.
Trayvon Walker.
Yep.
Cam Ward.
Yep.
Michael Vick.
Yep.
Baker Mayfield.
Yep.
David Carr. 03? 04?
2. Yep. That's 7, 8. I think.
Carson Palmer.
Yep.
Really, because I watched a video on the Heisman winners earlier. Dubious Eli Manning, does it count? Because he was technically selected first overall.
It counts. It's on the list, so it counts.
He's going to say that.
I was going to say, I think it does technically count. Jamarcus Russell.
Yep.
Sorry, Ken, I had to mention it. Matt
I've also got him there, don't worry.
Stafford, yeah.
And Sam Bradford.
So you got them all right. So however many you got, that's how many you got. I'll stop counting. 6.
I'll see how many
12?
you've got. And I think I've got more. The fingers was working like a wizard
12
today.
12.
I think I've got more than 12.
No, 13, sorry. 13, I can't count.
Was it?
So, obviously, Cam Ward, Caleb Williams, Bryce Young, Baker Mayfield, Trevor Lawrence, Jadeveon Clowney,
Yes.
Jameis Winston,
Yes.
Myles Garrett.
Yes, sir.
I assume the only tackle to be taken first, Eric Fisher.
Yep.
Jared Goff, Matthew Stafford, Jamarcus, the worst first overall pick ever, Russell, Sam Bradford, Cam Newton, and Andrew Luck.
All correct. That's an impressive list.
I mean, it did take me 4 picks to get Cam Ward on the list, so I probably was just looking for
He'd have been first one that comes to my head.
I got Trayvon Walker before I got to Cam Ward.
You said about autocorrect. I just don't write the names properly. I just put the first name.
Oh, I typed the fucking name. That's probably why I lost.
Nah, maybe. That is the quiz, everyone. Key and 1-1. That's
He
nice.
did win one. And yeah, that is it for our week 5 predictions. So obviously we'll be back later in the week for our One Thing We Learned video from this slate of games.
That's not like this week. That's next week.
Sorry, yeah. But thank you very much to Max and Kean for joining me as always, and we will see you all next week.